If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more other outlets. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The following broadcast is brought to you by JK Entertainment and MSR Production.
Welcome to The Question. I'm your host, Kolb, and this is episode 3. Last time, we spoke to Joey about defense, and I learned quite a bit. I don't know about you guys, but everybody else seemed to get good feedback from that episode. It hasn't helped me win much more, but maybe this episode will help me this time. Today, we have Rev. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, no problem. I'm glad you get on here and give us some enlightenment on how to run. Maybe I can win some games because, man, it's been tough down here in Genesis.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm 5-6 right now in MSR.
Whew. Man, the competition is increased so much in this league.
I just started off with two forced losses from suspension, but yeah, it's tough out in the MSR streets.
Oh, for sure. All right, so before we get into today's topic, which is going to be about the running game, which we all know how deadly the running game is in this Madden, let's learn a little bit about you, Rev. Where are you from, my man?
I'm from about an hour north of Knoxville, Tennessee, so East Tennessee. I've lived here pretty much my whole life, but I've been lucky. I've pretty much got to see most of the country. Traveled a little bit to Mexico here and there and other places, but yeah, if you can't tell, I'm from the South.
We can hear that accent a little bit. just a little bit. But yeah, Tennessee's not too far. You know, I'm from Indiana, so I'm about 2 hours from Nashville. I've been to Knoxville a few times too. So Tennessee's a great state, man. I love Nashville in general and all the music and the atmosphere that it has.
Yeah, it's about 8 or 9 hours wide. It's pretty wide. So
yeah, for sure.
Everybody gets a little bit of Tennessee.
That's right. All right, so how long have you been playing Madden?
The farthest back I can remember is about 1997. That's when I started kind of playing NCAA and NFL both a little bit. I'm thinking that's PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 days, but that's kind of my first memories of it.
Yeah, I hear you. That's probably a little bit earlier than me. I can't remember when I started.
31, so yeah, it was early. No, I don't think.
Damn, bud. 31, 97. How old were you then?
That'd be 8. Yeah,
that's pretty young. You're definitely younger than me when I started playing Madden.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was popular to go to your friend's house, and if somebody had the game, you know, one or two
I hear you.
Playing each other.
So being from Tennessee, I'm assuming you're a Titans fan.
Yeah, I kind of picked them up when they moved here. I can remember when they did the change from the Tennessee Oilers over to the Tennessee Titans, and I thought it was kind of cool. Everybody bought Eddie George, McNair, Frank Wycheck. Everybody had those jerseys in middle school. It was nice to get a team in Tennessee.
Right. They had a pretty good season last year. Not too bad on the back of Derrick Henry, really. Although using him too much, I think, kind of hurt him in the long run there.
I think it did
seemed
a little bit.
Tired in the postseason.
We were pretty hurt defensively too. We were missing a lot of our secondary. And it kind of stung us a little bit against the Chiefs, but it was a fun year considering at one point I didn't even think we were going to have a winning record.
Oh, for sure. I was kind of rooting for him. I'm not really much of a Titans fan, but definitely I would have rather have seen the Niners play against the Titans than the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. No offense.
I'm hoping to go back there for 21. It would be nice to go back. We'll see if they fall to me. I think in the last user rank I was around 18.
I think you had a good shot at them then. I don't think they're high on many people's lists.
I don't think so either with Tannehill's contract. They don't have a lot of money. They have a lot of money tied up in their OL, so they're kind of hard to manage the cap there a little bit.
Right, but it seems like a good team that you can kind of build up a little bit. So
yeah, it's a fit for me, for
sure. So in MSR Genesis, have you had any big accomplishments, any Super Bowl wins or anything like that?
My biggest, I guess, would be back in the winter when I went 17-2 and lost in the Super Bowl. I guess that was kind of my big accomplishment, but it was also kind of my worst accomplishment because it messed with me a little bit. I guess I had to kind of learn how to adjust to life after a little bit of success. It's not easy.
I hear you. Yeah. One of these days I'm going to get some success, and then I'll have to worry about adjusting after that.
Yeah, run the ball, baby. That's what we're here for. So
that's right.
We're gonna get it going.
So I'm assuming, in your opinion, that the running game is way more powerful than the passing game in Madden 20.
I think it is. I think you got to be able to do both. But even the best passers, like recently, I've beat Taco twice, and I was pretty close to beating him the third time in a row. And in both games, he just got to where he was only passing, and it allowed me to pretty much pass commit on most of the downs. So I think even if you want to be a passer, especially on Madden 20, and it may change into 21, you need to be able to run the ball. You need to be effective on the ball.
Yeah, that seems to be my biggest problem. And a lot of people have told me that I've hit the turbo button a little fast, which I've been trying to make an effort to not even be near that turbo button. But I don't know, it's something about reading the holes. I have a hard time understanding what's going on. And then even on defense, when I'm trying to stop the run, I like to play the middle linebacker. Coming across, trying to catch the guy running outside, I get picked up on a block every single time, it feels like.
Yeah, it's very tough this year defending the run. That's probably not somewhere I have good advice on. Me and Heartless just had a game where he scored 52 points on me. I scored 45. I think Darrell Anthony had 340 yards rushing, but I still lost because when it came down to it, he hit me with the stretch play, and I was not ready for it. I think one thing I do that's not very helpful in that is I try to run at the ball carrier too much. I think you kind of want to get in his area, and then you want to kind of strafe and make him work a little bit, because the more you can slow him down, the more likely that kind of the flow of the defense is going to catch up and tackle him.
All right, yeah, that might be a problem, because when I am running outside, I kind of tend to run downhill sort of a little bit, so maybe that's my issue.
I do the same thing, but I think everybody's pretty vulnerable to the run right now.
For sure. So what type of back is better for that running? Is it you want the elusive and quick backs, or do you want the big bruisers like Derrick Henry in this Madden this year?
It really depends on how you want to attack it. The big difference, in my opinion, between them is the way they fall down. I know it's kind of funny, but power backs almost always tend to fall forward, where the elusive guys, it's really untelling how they get folded up. I think everybody's pretty keyed in at this point that joystick is the big one, because joystick just allows you to cut and just do things that are, for lack of a better term, completely unrealistic.
Yeah, you've got that. You don't even have to do anything but just jam the stick left or right, and it just completely messes with the AI defenders.
Yeah, and
they don't even know what
pursuit's bad anyways. That's the big issue, is that I feel like when you have guys running the ball, most of the defense, when you watch them, they're just kind of trotting. And that's really what makes running so deadly, is you've got to do it all by yourself. Unless they just make a play, it's up to you to make the tackle.
For sure. Now, a couple Maddens ago, I remember there was a big emphasis point by the devs to stop that type of left stick swerve running. And I thought they did a pretty good job of stopping that. But now all of a sudden in this Madden, not only is it deadly with people who don't even have that joystick ability, now they have an ability that highlights that issue even more. What happened? Why do you think they went back to that?
I don't know. I really thought wiggle running kind of died, I thought, with NCAA back in the day. And then with joystick and just the way, and you don't even have that joystick. If you're just fast and you cut somewhat close to 90 degrees, the defense will run backwards. They're not going to run where you're going. They're going to run where you are. And that just completely it kills pursuit. I'm not really sure how they fix it, but I really hope they do next year. Coming from a guy who runs the ball 30 times a game, I really want them to fix it.
Right. So I'm not in MSR currently. Who is the best running team up there right now?
DK's pretty known for it. I think he is the rushing leader right now. And he's kind of doing it by committee. See, we had that rule change a while back where no player on your offense can be more than 35% of your total yards at the end of the year. So it caused a lot of guys to kind of split it up. And that was a result of the JJ 3K season where he had a 3,000-yard rusher. I would like to say that I'm at the top of the list. Kylo is very good. He's the only one really doing it right now with a mobile quarterback. There's plenty of good runners right now. I think anyone can be successful running. Heartless killed it on me. Probably above me, I would actually pick King Santi. He is amazing what he does with Breda. He's very good, very talented.
Yeah, if he gets the Niners next year, he's not going to have Breida, though, unfortunately. He got shipped out.
Yeah, he might have had that Miami chasing him, but I think Miami's going to go pretty early.
Yeah, I do too. They have a pretty good defense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I know we mentioned Breida there, and I know the Vikings had a pretty good running back. Who do you think's the best actual running back in the MSR?
Probably Breda. Breida's just like, man, he's on I've only got to play him twice, but he's just on a new level. Statistically, we did a while back, we did the best running backs of the cycle, where we did let everyone vote. It's actually on our Instagram page. If you guys want to check that out, I'm actually going to pull it up right now and talk about it. Sure. I forgot about it to this moment. But it's madden_sim_revolution. Yeah, we did it. We did a blind vote through King Wakanda where they put up everybody's stats, and the vote went as so. Thought I had it, and I didn't. MSR all cycle. Number one was Zeke. Zeke's just been kind of consistent throughout the cycle.
And he doesn't have the typical joystick jukebox abilities, right?
No, I believe he's got armbar. I don't think he has jukebox. He has 12,400 yards. Breda has 12,100. Now, my back, Darrell Anthony, was pretty close to those guys at, I think, 1,500. But I've also played 2 less seasons. And then it was Philip Lindsay and then Joe Johnson.
Right. So, were you able to play inside the Madden 21 beta?
I was a little bit. Now, I did not play anybody in particular. I just played the computer just because I wanted to try some things out. The first thing I did was run in and ran, I think, read option probably 20 times just to see how it would work. I didn't see joystick anywhere, but I did do a little bit of running with the ball, and I feel like running's still going to be pretty effective. I think it's going to look a lot more realistic, though. I don't think there's going to be as much swerving.
Yeah, I think when I was reading through the abilities, I don't think joystick is the same ability at the time. So hopefully they're kind of noticing that that's kind of an issue. Maybe they're fixing that. I played a little bit as well, and I felt like running was very powerful. I was still able to run pretty good on a couple guys I played online. But I didn't feel the swerve as much. It was still there. You can still swerve guys, but it wasn't as deadly. Like, I don't know, maybe the defensive AI pursuits are a little bit better or what it was. But
I hope so. I think it'll change too. I think they were pretty embarrassed at the way the Madden Championships went down, where there was a punter and quarterback.
Right.
Hopefully they'll change up a little bit.
So what do you think, in your opinion, do they need to do to fix running?
I think getting rid of joystick would be a good first step. I do have 2 joystick running backs, and I would be willing to give it up for just more realism in the game. And then, like we've talked about it a lot, but pursuit definitely is it. They need to have some sort of awareness to run where they think you're going to go instead of like trailing where you've been. And if they can fix that, I think that would really change the game.
Right. It seems like when they switched this Madden, I don't know if they messed something up or what it was, but the pursuit angles are absolutely garbage. Like even in passing runs, it seems like sometimes
Oh yeah,
that they just read it wrong. I don't get what they did.
we were talking about the game with Heartless the other day. I needed 7 points. I had 16 seconds and 2 timeouts, and I'm not even ashamed to admit it. I went to run the ball first, and I almost scored. I almost did it. I took it 40 yards and got ran down. Which I know you wanted to talk about our best running plays, and I think pretty much all the stretch plays are probably my favorite. I know they're so overused, but because when I start running stretch, it starts getting people to spread their defense out. And then I'm like, all right, now I'll hit you with dive, I'll hit you with halfback lead, blast, all the interior runs.
Yeah, I've noticed that stretch and dive seem to be like the most popular among anybody in the league. And what even makes it worse is that when you actually read it right, that he's going to do a dive.
Yeah.
And your guys are coming in the middle. If he's got that quick, even joysticks, even without joystick, just able to cut that stuff left or right, it absolutely decimates your defense. You don't have a chance. You just got to hope that your cornerback or your safety out there got free from the block and have a chance to stop him.
It's insane. I've had guys run for 400 yards on me this year, and that's just the game we're playing. I'm kind of getting burned out.
Right. So do you think the game wouldn't be so bad running if we didn't have abilities at all? Do you think if they took this Madden, no abilities, that it would be more 50-50 between running and passing? Or
I think it would. It definitely would probably pull some people off of it, and I think it would definitely make the game look more realistic. My only complaint, I guess, would be that your superstar players, I guess, wouldn't look so superstar. But it's to the point now that we're like, if you have a wide receiver with post specialist, if he's got post specialist, it doesn't matter if you have the best corner in the league. When he runs that route, he breaks on the post, he's going to be wide open. So there's my relationship with abilities is very love-hate.
Right. Yeah. You shared a video with me here recently of your tight end catching a ball. He doesn't have abilities. He doesn't have jukebox. But you just cut him. You just cut him, and he's slow. He's fat and big, and he's a tight end. And he just cut left and just juked out a complete defender like it was nothing.
So that's one cut. In general, a lot of people I don't think know about it, but there's a timing mechanism to where if you pull the left trick, which I think they refer to it as Heisman, or hesitate, maybe one of those. But if you tap the left trigger and pull the right one, like in a good sequence, you get a good burst. And if anybody's really interested in it, you should go to practice mode and go to offense only and just run the ball and go from a kind of what I call a coast, where you're running with no sprint, and then work on making like a cut to the left and hitting sprint. And it'll just give you, it's called a one-cut burst if you can find it online too. But it's a good game changer, especially if you don't have joystick.
Wow, yeah, that's something I've never done before. I'm definitely going to look at that as soon as we get off of this. Maybe I can figure out, because in Genesis, I've got Ronald Jones down there, and he's got jukebox and my God, what's the other one? I can't even think about it. Well, we've been talking about it all night. What's the other ability? Joystick. He's got joystick and jukebox, and I still can't run.
The big, like you were talking about earlier too, you do want to, if you can avoid touching sprint at all, they're going to hold their blocks. So my mindset when I go into a running play, whether it's dive, sweep, any of them, I'm not touching the sprint until I feel like I absolutely have to run away from you. And then because once you hit it, the blocks change. Even if you've got guys in front of you and you know he's about to be blocked, but if you hit sprint, he just won't block him. It's the Madden curse.
For sure. So just for you people listening, I will post that video that Rev sent me on our Twitter page after this episode airs. That's at MSR question. Just so you guys can look what I mean of how deadly just even people who don't have abilities can be, even though
especially against the hit stick. Conservative tackle, not as much, and you can make some really sharp cuts with one cut. I put in one cut burst on YouTube right there and found some pretty good videos.
Yeah, that's something definitely everybody should look out to improve their running game. So when you're on offense and you're setting up a run play, what are you looking at the defensive setup before you actually maybe audible or hot route somebody out of to a different setup?
Yeah. So in the trainer mode, and they don't have this in all Madden because it's one of those things that goes away when you go up there. But when you get into the trainer mode, it literally will show you whether the offensive line, not really the line, but the box is green or it's red. And that's really a numbers game. So you use the center as kind of 0. And I look to the left, and let's say there's 3 defenders on the left, but there's 4 on the right. Well, the numbers game says, all right, I should run to the left. And then you have to account for, do I have the blockers to block those 3 guys? I prefer not to run against the heavy defenses. My personnel philosophy in my mind is I want to get you spread out. I want to get you out of the 4-3 and 3-4. And I want to kind of thin the box up a little bit, and then I want to start running.
Yeah, I've definitely tried to do that. I know what you're talking about when you're looking, splitting the defense up and trying to run out. So that's definitely a good idea. What about the people? You notice a lot of people have coming down to press or bringing all your safeties down. I see that a lot now.
Yeah.
Is there a way you should try to combat that, or do you try to pass on to that type of play instead of running it?
So when you start having everybody come into the box, it's not always a bad thing. And one thing I forgot to talk about was you also there's kind of like a hinge point in every run. And when I say hinge point, there's going to be a blocker a blocker and a defender that's going to decide pretty much whether your run's going to work. And that's one of the things that the trainer mode's really good for, because the defense is either going to go outside or inside. And that kind of lets you know exactly where you need to be cutting it up. But when guys also come up in the box like that, it kind of sets them up to where if they miss you on 1 or 2 tackles, you're gone. You're going to score. One of my favorite ways to combat that is, especially if you have wide receivers with abilities, tight ends with abilities, is to call a PA play. Now, if you've been going run heavy, you probably want to block one of your guys to make sure you have plenty of blockers in the box. But if you have post specialists or corner specialists, streak specialists, that's the time to use those guys. It's when they walk everyone up.
For sure, I guess, to get over top of those safeties that they brought down. And then in the long game, they'll eventually stop doing that, and it opens up your running game again, right?
Yeah, it's just a cycle of, and I hate, but it's the name of the game. I mean, with my Packers team, I've got 2 joystick running backs, I've got 2 wide receivers with abilities, and a tight end with abilities. And I'm looking to get the ball to one of those guys off an ability pretty much every play.
For sure, this game is all about abilities this year. One thing about abilities, and I thought would be a good idea, I know we're talking about limiting abilities. Wouldn't it have been maybe a better idea to limit the number of people who can have abilities in the league? Like, originally we started out with 50. I guarantee in MSR right now you're probably somewhere around 150 to 200 players.
I think we looked recently, and I think there was over 200.
It's got to be. Like, on MSR Showdown tonight, I'm looking, and I'm seeing almost every player with a star or an X factor.
Every one of my skill positions. My
quarterback. Are we playing like NFL Blitz or what going on over here?
I think so. There apparently a while back before Sonny left, one of the things that Sonny was talking about was he told Swami at EA. He said, "Hey, here's how many ability guys we have." And he couldn't believe it. He was like, "You guys are in 2027 and you have that many abilities." I don't know if we'll see any of your immediate results from that, but yeah, I think we could have put a cap on it. And I think, but it's tough. You want to reward guys for being able to get the abilities. I mean, Hoff's a great example. You and I both played him in the AFC South. I mean, the man has built an unbelievable team. But at the same time, I think people are kind of getting wore out with him too.
Right. Well, I mean, you don't ever lose your abilities, really, right?
No.
I mean, at some point you start losing ability slots, but you have to be like a sub 80 before you start losing those slots.
Yeah, Khalil Mack was 35 or 36, and he was still in the league with abilities.
Right. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. I wish they would have put like a hard cap on it. EA in general, not MSR. But
Fletcher Cox, I think, was a 91 or something at 35, 36 years old.
Right. So that's absolutely ridiculous. Maybe that's something they'll fix in the beta. I didn't see anything about that in the beta, but hopefully that's something they got some information on. So is there anything else you want to talk about the run game in general, or?
I'm just really interested to see how it changes for 21. I plan on still being a run-heavy team, especially with Tennessee. If I get Derrick Henry, it'll probably be, him being an X factor. I'm going to try to keep the power run going. We've still got about a month and 14 days till that happens.
Yeah, for sure. Like when the game came out, armbar was the one that everybody was talking about, right?
Yeah, that was bad, man. DK,
it was terrible.
DK had it going. He was just the man with that. He was killing people.
I mean, they fixed that. I can fix jukebox and everything else.
I don't even know where
it just seems like.
I mean, we've had some amazing running backs, but who the hell can sprint and not lose any momentum, no matter how you cut?
Not at all. It's pretty ridiculous. All right, so the next part on our show that we always do is a word association list. And all that is I'm just going to say a word or a phrase, and I just want you to give me the first thing that pops in your head when I say that.
Oh, okay.
All right, you ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The MSR.
MSR. Energy. I'll say that. There's a lot of energy, whether it be sometimes good, sometimes bad. Lots of energy.
Oh, yeah. This is the best league in existence on any platform by far.
Yeah.
So, the passing game.
This is going to sound bad, but crybabies, because I'm so tired of hearing passers cry about runners. So,
God, hot take right there.
That's a hot
crybaby
take, yeah.
passers. I love it.
They're all the time like, man, running's lame. They're like, I could run all game too, but I go to sleep. It's boring and it doesn't take stick skill. And I think I've made my point clear in the last, the whole time we've been talking. Like, yeah, I'm kind of over it, but that was honestly the first word that came out. Crybaby.
Perfect. EA Sports.
It's in your ass. That's pretty much. That may be a little too mature rated for the podcast, but God, EA just like they're in it for the money, man. I get it. I totally get it. But God, could franchise not use some attention?
Save franchise, right?
Yeah.
The running game.
Overpowered. I'll say it.
For sure. Timbo.
I guess I could say leader. I think he's doing his own thing. He's trying to put his own stamp on MSR. I think he's got good interest at heart.
For sure. I'm pretty impressed with everything he's done so far. So
things are picking up. And I think he was pretty frustrated at a point where he was like, I'm putting all this energy into it and I want to see things go a certain way, and they're not. And then the way things shook out, now he's got control, and I'm interested to see what he does with it.
All right. Joey.
Special. I think he has a lot of good at heart. I think he loves MSR. He's just a fiery individual. He's a testosterone jack, gray hair, muscle man. God,
for
man.
Sure. It might be the roids, my man. I don't know. I like Joey a lot.
Yeah, he can throw the weight. I watch him on Instagram, pretty much picking me up above his head.
That's for sure. All right. The Tennessee Titans.
Optimistic. I'm optimistic to see what happens this next year.
For sure. The new MSR website.
It's clean. I wanted my picture on there for Instagram staff. But it looks good. It looked a little better with me on there.
For sure. It's funny that you said Instagram. The next one is Instagram.
It's been a labor of love, man. Like, I honestly, I'm just kind of letting it fly. I felt like Instagram for a long time was just kind of me by myself over, nobody really paid attention. And then lately, Rhino and Samoan have helped a little bit. And then Timbo has always been really supportive, but he's kind of taken recently. He's started making posts on his own, and I appreciate it. Instagram's it's one of our hotter content areas right now. It's kind of picking up a little bit.
Oh, so I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of an older guy. I don't have an Instagram, and that's the worst thing about it is every time you post a link, I go to click it, it wants me to sign in, and I'm like, I don't have one of these.
I know, and I think that's the beef with a lot of people. There's a lot of guys who have never been there because I ain't making no Instagram profile. I'm an old man.
I'm only like 3 years older than you, but
yeah,
we didn't have Instagram's kind of new to me still.
Yeah, it's interesting. I get sucked into it. It's kind of like the YouTube trap. I get on there and like I look at people cook for hours, or it's just random.
Man, my friend of mine got me hooked on this TikTok thing now.
Oh God, TikTok's just as bad.
Videos, man.
Well, you're being watched. All your secrets are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the NFL.
Let's hope we get an NFL. Like, I'm a little nervous with what I'm seeing come out about college. I know that like some fall sports are being canceled. Some people are talking about playing a conference-only schedule. I think the NFL has more flexibility to do it than anybody. I just hope that they get it done.
Yeah, I saw a post this week that said something about season. Like I follow obviously San Francisco stuff. That they were in contact with season ticket holders about possibly not having actual fans in the stands this year.
Yeah.
So, man, that's gonna be weird. Like
it is.
I
watched
wrestling on occasion, professional wrestling. I haven't really watched it in a long time, but they've been doing like stadium empty matches, and it's like the weirdest thing ever. I can't watch.
I saw that. I saw like Chris Jericho did a video or something like.
Yeah, it was weird.
It is. We're in weird times, man. Like I actually was talking to my wife about that today. I'm about to the 4-month anniversary mark where I've not worked a 40-hour week in 4 months. And it's just weird. Wow. I'm supposed to start back August the 3rd teaching again. This is just, it doesn't feel real, I guess, in a sense.
Well, see, I've been working the full time. I'm a mail carrier. So I've been working the full time. Although over the 4th of July, I was at a very small get together, 5 people. And one of those people ended up being tested positive for COVID-19 that next week. So now I'm on a 14-day quarantine. So I have nothing to do but sit at the house. It sucks.
That's pretty much what I've done. I've got out a little bit, but I have went a little bit stir crazy here. I think I've aggravated the shit out of DK. I think he blew up on me the other night. Shut the fuck up, Rev.
Well, I'm just now starting my quarantine, so I'm going to be terrified how much I'm going to get yelled at inside the chats. But
oh yeah.
Next topic, Falco.
Falco is an energy man. I actually said this, I think in private to Timbo and DK once. My only concern with Falco is that I hope he doesn't burn himself out, because that man is going up like a Roman candle right now. I can't think of anything I dislike about Falco other than he's playing with the Colts.
I like Falco a lot. He's done a lot of good things for the league. That New Dawn stuff is amazing. Now they got a sponsorship from StubHub. What?
I was talking earlier. I said we got StubHub. Now we need to get Grubhub and Pornhub and all them other hubs.
Get all the hubs at once, right?
Yeah.
All right. How about MSR Showdown?
Go check my recent matchup with Taco. I think it was the last one. They've got actually Showdown. I think it's going on right now. Showdown's fun, man. It's a cool environment where just everybody shows up and talks a little shit, and it's a good time. Yep,
I enjoy it. I don't think I have any wins on it ever, but it's always fun.
I can understand, man.
And then last but not... Oh, actually, I got 2 more names. Sorry. J-Rod.
J-Rod's fiery. He's a fiery individual. He's really passionate about abilities. He's really passionate about how much the run sucks. I'm hoping that we get that rivalry. I think he is going to go to Indy, and hopefully I end up in Tennessee, and we get to have that. I think he'll beat me for the most part, but it'll be fun.
And the last name on my list, Ura.
He's I actually like him. I think he's matured a lot. Like the same Ura that we had back in August is not the same one we got now. I think he's an interesting character. He kind of keeps a little bit of things hidden behind the deck. He can be all right, man. There ain't really nobody that I just have a disdain for.
Right, I feel you right there. I'll be honest with you. At first time I was up there, and the first time I was in, I wasn't a fan. And I think it's more that I really didn't know him. Now that he's been on the podcast, I've heard him talk and stuff. It's a completely different type of person I've seen.
That helps. Having a voice helps a lot. I think
it does.
Speak is difficult, very difficult.
Which is one of the reasons why I actually wanted to do this podcast. I feel that sometimes I get misread with what I'm trying to tell. Sometimes I'm trying to make a joke and people take it as me bitching or complaining about something.
I totally get it. Like I think a lot of people think I'm a weirdo and I have a dad sense of humor. Like I laugh at my own shit more than I should. I think I'm so funny, but I know I'm not.
Oh, I hear you. I got the dad jokes out of nowhere. My wife hates it. So.
Oh yeah.
But all right, man. That's the end of the cast. I appreciate you coming on. Got us some lot of information on running, especially that hesitation juke. I'm about to definitely check that out after this, so I can figure out how to.
Yeah, definitely check out One Cut. Honestly, I'm pretty much an open book. Like I've never really broadcasted that, but if people want to ask me what I'm doing or want to ask me questions, you're always welcome to shoot me a DM.
All right, man. Everybody that listens will hear that, and your DMs will be blowing up, man. They'll be sliding in on my.
I doubt it. My 5 and 6 ass lately, but no, I did. People do know I know how to run. I'm second and rushing right now. I'm gonna try to take first for the season's over.
There you go, bud. Always have a goal.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Well, appreciate it again for coming on the cast tonight, and man, good luck up there.
Appreciate it. I hope we get you back soon. Hope the powers to be are listening and see you doing your work.
Hey, brother, I'm doing everything I can. So, anyway, have a great night.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And that wraps up episode 3. We got some great information on the run game from Rev. I know I did. Hopefully some of you folks did as well. Next time on The Question, we're going to have a very special episode. We're going to have the man, the myth, the legend, Timbo on. And he's going to talk about what it's like to be a commissioner of basically 2 32-man franchises. So we're going to go through what all that's about, what kind of stuff he's looking for in the future for MSR. And basically what it was like for him to take over. If you guys have any questions you guys would like me to ask Timbo, please hit me up on Twitter or in the Discord or any way you want to, and I'll get those questions to him. Thanks again.